We live in a world where respect is often spoken of as something one must earn, a prize given to those who deserve it. However, the true essence of respect lies not in the deeds or merits of the recipient, but in the character of the one who offers it. For respect, you see, is not an outward show, a formal gesture, or a mere formality. It is the expression of a heart that knows the value of others, even when they cannot offer anything in return. It is a reflection of who we are on the inside. One must understand that respect is not a mere token of politeness or deference. It is a powerful manifestation of one's moral foundation. Just as a tree bears fruit according to the roots from which it springs, so does respect bear witness to the character from which it flows. If our hearts are filled with humility, understanding, and kindness, then respect will naturally flow from us in our words and actions. Too often, we look at respect as a kind of currency to be exchanged, a tool by which we judge others. But true respect knows no such exchange. It is not contingent on what others can offer us in return, but rather is born out of an understanding that each person, by virtue of their humanity, deserves to be valued. It is in the small, unnoticed acts of courtesy, in the silent acknowledgement of another's worth, where the character of respect truly shines, where the practice of patience flourishes. And when we show respect, we are not only showing our regard for the individual, but we are displaying our integrity as well. But respect is not something that comes automatically, nor is it something that can be demanded. It must be cultivated. It must grow within us, through careful self-reflection, through learning the value of patience and kindness, and through understanding the inherent dignity of all people, regardless of their position or station in life. It is in those moments when we choose to treat others as we would like to be treated that we demonstrate the depth of our character. In truth, respect is an act of self-discipline. It requires us to step outside of our own judgments, prejudices, and assumptions. It requires us to see beyond the surface, to look deeper into the heart of a person, and to honor their intrinsic worth. When we choose to respect others, we choose to reflect the best of who we are, and in doing so, we elevate the world around us. The importance of cultivating respect is not merely a matter of personal virtue, but of societal harmony. When respect is present, relationships thrive and communities flourish. It is a force that binds people together, for it creates an atmosphere of trust and understanding. Respect, therefore, is not just an individual duty, it is a collective responsibility. When one's character is imbued with respect, it fosters unity, peace, and mutual goodwill. It inspires others to act with integrity and kindness, thus spreading respect far and wide. Respect, as a virtue, is often perceived as a social transaction, something that must be given in equal measure to what is received. Yet, the true nature of respect is not found in the balance of such exchanges, but in the essence of one's character. It is not a gesture that can be measured by the outward actions alone, but rather an intrinsic quality that comes from an internal understanding of the value of others and the acknowledgement of their humanity." End quote. Respect is not something that should be given based on merit or status, nor should it fluctuate with the circumstances. It is a reflection of the character of the individual offering it. At the core of respect is the recognition of the inherent worth of another person. This worth is not conditional upon their actions, their appearance, or their accomplishments. Rather, it is a fundamental quality that is inherent to their being. Just as a piece of art is valued not for the materials it is made from, but for the skill and intention behind its creation, so too is respect grounded in the understanding that every individual, regardless of their circumstances, holds intrinsic value. This recognition comes from within, from a character that has learned to see beyond the superficial and to appreciate the inherent dignity of every human being. It is a perspective that moves beyond the surface and acknowledges the complexities, struggles, and potential within each person. The truth forward. Respect, then, is not a mere acknowledgement of another's behavior or achievements, but a deeper expression of valuing the person for who they are, independent of their outward actions. When we view respect through the lens of character, we begin to understand that it is not only about showing deference or politeness. It is about a recognition of the equality of all people. This view of respect is rooted in empathy, compassion, and humility. It requires the ability to put aside personal prejudices and biases, to look beyond the external, and to appreciate the inner humanity that binds us all. When respect is truly a reflection of character, it becomes more than a social expectation or a societal norm. It becomes a moral imperative. A person's character, defined by the values and principles they adhere to, directly influences their ability to offer genuine respect. Integrity, honesty, kindness, and fairness are all qualities that allow respect to flourish. A person who lacks integrity will struggle to show respect, for their actions will be driven by selfish motives or by the desire for control rather than by a true acknowledgement of another's worth. Similarly, someone who is not guided by kindness may only offer respect to those who are agreeable or useful to them, missing the point that respect is not earned by how much one pleases, but by the mere fact of one's humanity. Respect, grounded in character, is consistent. It does not change with time or with context. A person of strong character does not show respect selectively or opportunistically, but rather with consistency and sincerity. This is what separates genuine respect from superficial politeness. Superficial respect is conditional, transactional, and often aimed at gaining favor or maintaining appearances. In contrast, respect that stems from a person's character is unconditional, steadfast, and consistent, regardless of external circumstances or the behavior of others. It is not something that is simply given when it is convenient or when the other party deserves it, but it is a steady and unwavering acknowledgement of the dignity of all people. And this is what makes self-respect so important. The reflection of respect through character also involves recognizing the interconnectedness of humanity. When we respect others as an expression of our character, we also understand that to respect one person is to respect the larger community. It becomes an act of unity, binding us together in shared values of decency and moral uprightness. When we extend respect to others, we not only elevate the individual, but we also contribute to a culture of respect that reinforces the dignity of all. A person of character knows that respect is not an isolated act, but one that reverberates through their interactions, creating a ripple effect that can extend far beyond their immediate circles. Respect as a reflection of character also means that it is not something that can be faked or artificially manufactured. True respect is born out of an authentic recognition of the value of others, and no amount of external pressure or social expectation can create it if it is not present within. The character of a person who respects others is not constructed by social standards or the demands of the moment, but is built from a deep and honest understanding of what it means to value and honor human life. It is not an external posture, but an internal conviction. Respect is not simply a passive expression of good manners or a superficial act meant to impress others. It is deeply intertwined with one's character and is shaped by the integrity that governs a person's actions, decisions, and interactions. The idea that respect is inseparable from character suggests that how one treats others is not just about external gestures, but an external manifestation of a well-formed internal foundation. A person's actions toward others can only be truly respectful if their character is grounded in virtues like honesty, integrity, fairness, and empathy. These virtues directly influence how one interacts with the world, how one chooses to see others, and how one decides to act toward them. The first and most important connection between respect and character lies in the concept of integrity. Integrity is the bedrock of all ethical behavior, the quality of being whole, undivided, and true to one's moral principles. A person of integrity cannot act dishonestly or disrespectfully without it causing an internal contradiction. If respect was simply a matter of politeness, it could easily be faked, performed, or manipulated. However, true respect is not about putting on an act, but about being true to one's internal moral compass. A person of integrity cannot respect others only when it suits them, nor can they disregard others when no one is watching. Their actions, which reflect their respect for others, are consistent and sincere. In every situation, a person of integrity treats others with dignity, for their respect comes from a place of honesty and deep-rooted ethical conviction. The way one shows respect is shaped by the values that guide their life. A person with strong character does not simply respect people in positions of power or those who can offer something in return. They respect everyone equally. This equality of respect comes from a character that values fairness and justice. It reflects a deep understanding that each individual, regardless of their social status, race, gender, or background, is worthy of the same dignity and consideration. A person of strong character does not differentiate their treatment of others based on external factors, such as their ability to provide a benefit or their rank in society. True respect is blind to such differences and treats all people with the same care and kindness. This fairness is what allows respect to transcend superficial judgments and become a fundamental part of a person's moral framework. Empathy also plays a significant role in the connection between respect and character. Empathy is the ability to understand and share the feelings of others, and it is essential for genuine respect. Without empathy, respect becomes an abstract concept, something to be offered without understanding or emotional investment. A person with empathy is able to recognize the humanity in others, acknowledging their struggles, hopes, and fears. It is through this emotional connection that true respect emerges. Rather than seeing people through the lens of judgment or criticism, an empathetic person seeks to understand them as they are. This understanding does not merely involve tolerating differences, but actively celebrating the uniqueness and intrinsic worth of each individual. A person who lacks empathy may give respect on the surface, but will likely fall short in truly honoring the dignity of others. They may overlook or dismiss the complexities of another's experience, treating others as objects or tools for personal gain, rather than as equals deserving of kindness and consideration. Character also plays a crucial role in how respect influences one's behavior in difficult situations. It is easy to show respect when things are going smoothly, when others are agreeable, or when there is no personal risk involved. But true respect emerges in the face of adversity, conflict, or challenge. When someone disagrees with us, when they challenge our ideas or behavior, the true measure of our character is revealed in how we treat them. A person with a strong, virtuous character will continue to show respect even in these difficult moments. They will seek to understand the other person's perspective, acknowledging their right to their own opinions and experiences, even if they do not agree. Respect does not fade when disagreements arise. Instead, it becomes an even more significant expression of one's character. In these moments, a lack of respect often stems from an inability to engage with differences maturely, to recognize that conflict is not an excuse to dehumanize or belittle others. Conversely, the ability to remain respectful during times of tension reflects a character that values peace, understanding, and the preservation of dignity at all costs. Another key connection between respect and character is the notion of humility. Humility is the understanding that we are not superior to others, and that all human beings, regardless of their flaws, limitations, or differences, deserve to be treated with respect. A humble person does not elevate themselves above others, or look down on those they deem less capable or worthy. Humility allows a person to treat all individuals with fairness and respect, without the arrogance that often accompanies power or privilege. A humble person recognizes their own imperfections and thus has the capacity to value and appreciate the worth in others. It is in humility that respect is most clearly demonstrated, because it involves placing others on equal footing with oneself, seeing them as partners in the human experience rather than as competitors or objects to be dominated. Respect cannot be separated from character, because it is a direct result of the moral qualities that define a person. Integrity, fairness, empathy, humility, and the ability to handle adversity with grace all contribute to how a person shows respect. It is not just about following social norms or conventions. It is about how a person lives and the values they choose to uphold. True respect is a reflection of a person's character because it emerges from a deep, unshakable understanding of the worth of others, a worth that is inherent and does not depend on external validation or circumstances. Cultivating respect is not a passive endeavor, but an active and deliberate process that requires consistent effort, self-awareness, and emotional intelligence. It is far easier to react to situations based on instinct or societal expectations than to intentionally nurture respect as a core value within oneself. Respect does not simply manifest spontaneously. It is a quality that needs to be cultivated over time, honed through continuous self-reflection, personal growth, and a commitment to understanding and appreciating others. Just as a garden requires constant tending, we must consistently nurture the seeds of respect to ensure that it flourishes in our interactions and relationships. One of the most fundamental aspects of cultivating respect is the development of self-awarenesses. To truly respect others, we must first understand ourselves, the biases, judgments, and assumptions that might color our interactions. Without this self-awarenesses, we risk acting out of preconceived notions or prejudices, treating others based on stereotypes or narrow perceptions rather than acknowledging their unique qualities. Self-awareness enables us to examine our beliefs and attitudes toward others, recognizing where we might be unconsciously biased or dismissive, and making a conscious effort to challenge those tendencies. This process allows respect to be rooted in authenticity, ensuring that our actions toward others are based on a genuine appreciation for their humanity, rather than on superficial or external factors. It requires looking at ourselves honestly, reflecting on how we respond to others, and being willing to make changes where necessary in order to align our actions with our values. Along with self-awareness, empathy is a key element in the active cultivation of respect. Empathy is the ability to put oneself in another's shoes, to feel and understand their emotions, and to connect with them on a deeper level. It involves not only understanding someone's experiences, but also recognizing their emotions and perspectives without judgment. Cultivating empathy requires a willingness to listen and engage with others in a way that validates their feelings, their struggles, and their viewpoints. When we approach people with empathy, we begin to see beyond their actions and understand the reasons behind them. This understanding naturally fosters respect, as it allows us to acknowledge the inherent dignity and value of others, regardless of their behavior, opinions, and background. Empathy challenges us to move beyond our own self-interest and consider the needs and experiences of others. By cultivating empathy, we ensure that our respect is not superficial, but rooted in an emotional connection to the other person's humanity. Humility also plays a crucial role in cultivating respect. Humility is not about thinking less of oneself, but about thinking of oneself less. It is the recognition that we are not superior to others, and that every person, regardless of their status or circumstances, deserves to be treated with the same dignity and consideration. Cultivating humility means relinquishing any sense of entitlement or superiority we might feel, and learning to see others as equals. When we approach others with humility, we are less likely to dismiss or belittle them, and we become more open to learning from them. Humility allows us to acknowledge our own limitations and to appreciate the strengths, experiences, and perspectives that others bring to the table. When we cultivate humility, we cultivate respect, for we recognize that everyone has something valuable to offer, and that no one is beneath our regard. An important aspect of cultivating respect is also the ability to manage our emotions, especially in challenging situations. It is easy to be respectful when things are going smoothly and when others are agreeable, but true respect is most clearly tested during times of conflict, disagreement, or stress. In these moments, our natural instincts may be to defend ourselves, to criticize, or to react impulsively. However, cultivating respect requires us to pause, reflect, and respond thoughtfully rather than reacting impulsively. It requires emotional maturity, the ability to remain calm, composed, and considerate, even when we disagree with others or feel frustrated. When we manage our emotions in these situations, we are able to maintain our respect for others despite the challenges. This is a vital part of cultivating respect, as it ensures that our actions remain aligned with our values even in the face of difficulty. Consistency is another key aspect of cultivating respect. It is easy to show respect when it is convenient or when we are interacting with people we like or agree with, but true respect requires consistency. Cultivating respect means showing the same level of consideration, kindness, and understanding to all people, regardless of their status, behavior, or how we feel about them. It is a conscious effort to treat everyone with dignity, regardless of whether we receive anything in return. When respect is cultivated consistently, it becomes a way of life, woven into the fabric of our character. We do not pick and choose when to be respectful. Instead, we demonstrate respect in every interaction, with every person, and at all times. This consistency makes respect a deeply ingrained part of who we are, not something that is merely done out of obligation or expectation. Another essential element in cultivating respect is the willingness to be vulnerable. Vulnerability means allowing ourselves to be open, to recognize our own imperfections, and to be receptive to the ideas, opinions, and feelings of others. When we open ourselves to others, we acknowledge that they too have valuable experiences, insights, and perspectives. This openness allows us to approach others with respect, recognizing their worth, not just in the abstract, but in the way they contribute to our lives and to the world. Vulnerability also fosters trust, and trust is a fundamental component of respect. Without trust, respect cannot grow or thrive. It becomes fragile and conditional. By cultivating vulnerability, we create an environment in which respect can deepen and flourish. This feeling of security is a way of separating ourselves from trouble and grow more in tune with who we are.